I had an interesting experience dealing with somebody that might think they know everything. A home inspector was inspecting one of the properties where I represent the seller, and the house had been winterized prior to going on the market. So we had to get the water turned back on, and the water heater valve was in the off position. So it couldn't fill with water. There was no hot water access unless you open that valve and let it fill up. Through the course of his inspection, he discovered that the shower in the main bathroom didn't work. No water whatsoever was coming out, even though cold water was on. And that was strange. Well, I thought about it, and I realized that a while back I had my water heater replaced, and that plumber specifically had me check to see if my shower would work while the water heater was missing, and there was no hot water. I thought of course it would. Cold water is just going to come out. But it didn't. So it turns out there's a pressure balancer in my shower. And while that's unusual, that plumber knew to ask about it. And he made it work to where we could take cold showers if we wanted to while he had to run and get the new parts. When I told that story to the home inspector, because I had previously seen the shower work when I ran everything as a test once the water was back on, I told him that story, and his response was, "That's not true." And he tried to tell me how the reason why my shower didn't work is because the water was off at my house. Even though I was there at my house and everything else in the house worked, the sinks, the toilets, anything that ran in cold water would work. But that shower didn't work with just cold. I had to have pressure from both sides in order for it to work. I thought it was odd that he essentially called me a liar and told him as such. And while he tried to backpedal, I basically asked him to make space for the fact that he might not know everything and that he could be wrong. And that the smart solution was to turn the water heater on and test it. So the next time I was at the house, I did turn the water heater back on. And sure enough, everything worked just fine. I even took video of it to show him. The frustrating part of all of this is his response being, "That's not true," instead of anything else. When I called my preferred home inspector, his response when I told him the story of what was going on at this house was, "That's weird. Give me 5 minutes, I'm going to do some research and call you back." And he did some research. He also called a plumber that we work with all the time, got some answers, called me back, and told me that it is certainly possible that that's what's going on. It's not the only thing that could be going on. But he confirmed that pressure balancing valves do exist.